Do you have a newborn who can stay up for hours and hours and hours, may not show you any tired signs at all? If so, this is the masterclass for you. We are looking at why newborns can be awake for hours and hours, what we can do about it, and how we can get them the best sleep possible. My name is Rebecca Mickey. I am a children's sleep consultant and author. And in today's mini masterclass, we're looking at those newborns who will be awake for hours and hours and hours. So you know this straight away. A lot of times people will say that they notice this in the hospital, that their newborn baby who has just been born and should be really, really sleepy is very awake and very alert, looking at everything, taking everything in. And then as they get home, spend more time awake, they can really struggle to sleep. This may be because they have got overly stimulated and then they're going to struggle. Oftentimes we will see this with children who have that more intense and spirited sleep personality are going to struggle a little bit more, and they can remain awake for hours and hours and hours. But remaining awake for so long is not necessarily a good thing. Being awake for longer does not mean that they will sleep longer at night. It's the exact opposite. They're going to have more trouble sleeping at night if they have not napped well during the day, because their brain is so overly stimulated, they're so overly tired, and that actually makes it so much harder for them to sleep. If you're unsure of your child's sleep personality, you can find the link to my sleep personality quiz below. Take the quiz, find out your child's sleep personality, and then we'll be able to tailor everything to work for them. So if your child does have that more intense and spirited sleep personality, you will want to be watching the clock, because they will not show you tired signs. Tired signs we can normally look for are yawning, getting a glazed look in the eyes, turning away from you, and crying, beginning to get upset. But oftentimes these intense and spirited children will not do this ever, or they may do it for a split second and it's a kind of a blink and you miss it. And then your child is getting more and more overly stimulated, and that will make sleep really, really challenging. So don't look for those tired signs if you have an intense and spirited child. Look at the clock. And I know this can be a little bit of a pain, but honestly, this is going to get you the best possible sleep if you do so. Newborn should be awake for a maximum 90 minutes, but it may actually be much longer. 60 minutes may be completely normal, even less. 45 minutes to an hour and a half is normal awake period for a newborn. You want to get them down for their nap, even if they are not showing you those tired signs, because they're probably going to be tired. What happens when your newborn is awake? They're taking everything in, and because everything is so new, then it's kind of like their brain kind of gets filled up with stimulation pretty quickly. And what they need to do then, they need to sleep. That kind of clears their brain out. They're ready to wake up and start again. Now, if your child is just remaining awake when they really should be going to sleep, their brain is getting even more full, even more stimulated, and that makes it very hard for them to unwind, to be able to fall asleep. They're going to struggle to fall asleep, but remaining asleep is also really tricky for a child whose brain is overly stimulated and they're really, really overtired. So keep an eye on the clock. 45 minutes to 90 minutes maximum awake time. Helping your child get down to sleep can be a game changer here. They won't be awake for so long where you then struggle to get them down. A bonus tip here for you. You may need your intense and spirited newborn to be in a darkened room to fall asleep. Now, I know that you've probably heard from somewhere that children should nap during the day in the light and nighttime in the dark. This goes for, yes, a lot of children, but those intense and spirited children, if there is something to look at, they are going to be looking at it. So you're going to really want to make sure that there is nothing for them to be looking at. That's going to make it easier for them to fall asleep. Now remember, your child does not know that they need to close their eyes in order to block everything out to be able to fall asleep. There's something to look at, especially when they are overly stimulated. They will look at it. So you want to have the room as dark as you can make it. That will then block everything out visually. That makes it easier for your intense and spirited child to relax and unwind, and much easier for them to sleep.